You know what's weird about the PS5 controller on PC? Sony gave this thing adaptive trigger and all this fancy technology, and then the moment that you use Bluetooth, most of them will disappear. So if you actually want the full experience, you need to plug the controller in with a USB cable, which honestly feels a little ridiculous in 2026. But recently I found this really strange open source project where people somehow managed to turn a tiny Raspberry Pi into a wireless PS5 dongle. So supposedly it gives you the adaptive trigger on PC, but then it's wirelessly. But the most important part is the entire thing costs under $10. So naturally, I had to try it. This is a Raspberry Pi Pico 2W. It is relatively small, runs on a dual-core processor, and has onboard RAM. I'm not an engineer. My coding experience is simply making Hello World. So I specifically bought the version of this board that comes with the header bins because I have zero soldering experience and I am terrified of ruining the board before I even started. The setup process sounds simple on paper. You hold down this tiny white button while plugging into your PC. This forces the computer to recognize the Pico not as a microchip, but as a plain external flash drive. From there, we go to GitHub, find the latest compile.uf2 file, download it to the computer, and then simply drop it into the folder. Once I do that, it will disappear. The board immediately restarts itself, injects the code, and converts its entire identity to a dedicated high bandwidth wireless receiver specifically for a dual-stand controller. Now, to put the controller into a pairing mode, you hold the PlayStation and the share button until the light bar starts giving you this blinking pattern. The blinking stops and the light bar turns to a solid calm blue. Okay? Solid light means they are talking each other. There is a green light indicator on the Raspberry Pi that letting you know it connects to your controller. But the Bluetooth connection is the easy part. The real question is whether the window realized what's actually happening. Now, I go to this dual-stand browser to test the controller. Inputs are registered, zero perceptible latency, every button pressed is clean. Now, let's quickly test the haptic and the rumble on this controller. But we didn't build this just to navigate the menu, so let's boot up a game to see what's going on. Oh wow, it's actually working. The resistance is there. The mechanical rumble is firing precisely when it's supposed to. So the Pico is successfully intercepting the high-speed audio data from the game engine, combining it, and throwing it through the air directly to the controller without any noticeable delay. Now it looks a little bit absurd. I have a bare circuit board with exposed pins sticking out my front USB port just to avoid a 3-foot cable. It's a completely over-engineered solution to a minor inconvenience, but for $10 and 2 minutes of downloading files off the internet, I think I'm really happy with that. Okay, I have to go. Bye bye.